What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another adventure with the Bearded Bobber, and today we are talking about these Ciro driver highway peg mounts for Indian motorcycle. You can see here they kind of like come out from under the floorboard and give you an extra like spot for your foot. So these are just the mounting hardware from underneath. You have to buy these separately, and I have these as my choice. I did everything with the black. You can see the mounting spots are not black, but I like these little Ciro pieces here. I like the grip to them. I think they're gonna look good. And so we're gonna go ahead and start unboxing and figuring out what we got here. So first we have the foot pegs. You can see come in a nice wrap here. I have one undone. I really like this, nice rubber. Everything's real sleek, feels good. So we have those two. Now also these go on the stock Indian motorcycle floorboards. So if you don't have stock floorboards, just not going to work. These here, we have them right here. I have these in the black. Comes with the bolts, comes with the hardware for the pegs to mount up to. What it is you can see these guys here are going to mount to your stock foot peg, or floorboard, sorry. The rubber's going to come out, and then that's going to mount to it. So you take this guy off and then mount all this stuff to that and then put it back on. So we're going to go through all that and do it on the bike. We're going to put this on Bombshell Biker's Chief. That way she'll have extra foot room on her bike, and I don't have stock floorboards, so they're not going on my bike. But I definitely would if I still had the stock floorboards. Alright, so let's we're gonna dive into this and see how it goes. We can take that off and show you guys. That go, I already have one side mounted. I'm gonna show you how to take it off before I show you how to mount it, and then I'll show you the after. Tools, you know, I needed 13 millimeters wrenches to get the foot pegs off the bike. So I just hit one on one side, one on the other side, crank it down. This is to mark the hole that we need to drill. I'm using a step drill bit because we do need to increase the size of one hole and make a new one. And then we also had an Allen and a 4. I just use that to tighten these guys down right here. So a couple Allens, that's it. We're going to, now the rubber, I'm gonna actually do this real quick. So the rubber, you pop this off. You can use something in there to pry. You're not really gonna hurt anything on the inside. You can see the rubber here. What we're doing is mounting this guy to the bottom. So you have a piece here, which this actually didn't show it in the steps. And then this hole is new and this hole needs stepped up. So this all mounts to the bottom, and then this will mount back on the bike like so. And then you'll have this little guy in this, and you'll find where you like to have an extra little foot room. So you can kick your foot off, get a little bit more extension, make your ride a little bit more comfortable for those long journeys. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna show you how to take off this right here on this 2020 Chief Darkhorse. They did later on call it a vintage, pretty much a Springfield. All those are really the same, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Should be the same on your Challenger, Pursuit, Chieftain. I haven't seen anything different when it comes to these on the bigger bikes. All right, so on this side, I pulled the rubber off first, because at first I was thinking I could mount, I didn't read the instructions. I was going to mount them while it was on the bike. But we take this off so that we can modify it, and then we'll have this side right here with a little foot peg. Now, we do have the crash bars, so we could obviously do some up there, but this is a nice little one over here off to the side. Just an extra feature, something that, you know, maybe you guys hadn't seen before. So we're gonna get, like I said, this 13 millimeter on here. All it is a bolt and a nut right here. Just be careful, you got very, very low clearance if you have crash bars. This bike didn't come with them, but we have the mustache bars on here. It's a little tricky to wiggle this guy out. I just kind of spin. There we go. Because it's got these little pieces. Ah, that came off in my hand. Okay. Ooh, where'd you go? There you go. We're going to set that back. We don't want to lose that. All right. Then we're going to get this over to the table and get it mocked up. All right. You can see we have this here. Little dirty. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. Now, this is just a foldable table, so it's not ideal. My other workbench is a little tied up at the moment. So, we're going to take this piece here, your mounting hardware, and now it mounts like this. So we're going to take it off the table so we can give it that room. You're going to make sure this hole, let's see if I can make sure you guys see this. So we're going to make sure this hole and this hole line up. I just got this headlamp from, well, I actually got it from Coast last year at the one Moto, and I should have been using it way more because it's fantastic. So we have our spot drilled. What's going to happen is we need to have these guys go in here, and then we're going to have a washer and nut on the other side. So we're going to take our step and we're going to actually go to a 5/16. So we're going to take this one. Also, I want to say they do show tape this off. That way you're not like doing any other damage to anything here. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. Like, this isn't going to hurt anything. It's the bottom of the bike. Also, you should use eyewear. Now there's a couple ways you can do this other one. My Step-It does a really good job, so I'm not worried about it. But you can take a small, tiny, or like a punch, make an indentation, so that way it has somewhere to guide, so it's not sliding everywhere. Okay. So, that there. Now we're just going to start these. We don't want to crank them down just yet. Okay. And then we have, this is our little set. That's going to be this last little hole. There's a little locking washer here. You can see right now I'm just trying to get that like lined up, slow thread started. Don't want any cross threading, which didn't seem like it was going to happen, but use just a little tight area, especially if it's a little bent. Not this, but like just the way these are angled. This guy's a 3mm Allen. Okay, then we're going to, it's a 7/16 nut on the inside. Now what we're going to do is get that rubber back on here, and then we're going to get it placed on the bike. What we got to do is get these all mounted up as well. So we're going to have these in here. There's other little pieces. We'll get it mounted like such, and that way it can like move back and forth here. Imagine you get it locked in. There's a little like teeth in here to go with this, like they sit together. Okay guys, real quick, while I'm putting this rubber piece on, I wanted to show you guys a trick because it's a little kind of hard. So you have these pieces here that have this little groove. So you need to get those in there, and you see all these little stoppers. This is all what helps you not feel vibration through your floorboard while riding. They're very good. So you can see we got to get them in here. So this one's done, but what I learned while doing that, so we're going to take this, going to put it down, we're going to do this on top. So get them all kind of lined up. And then up close I can show you. Let's see, we'll get this in there. See, it doesn't just like pop in. You gotta get it through, and then you're gonna take your finger and you're gonna do this. See it? And then like the level comes up. There we go. So now I got that rim all the way popped through. This one, so you're squeezing. And then kind of prying like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with these two here. The last one, you just kind of use a tool to reach in. Just be careful what you're using, because this is like a rubber. I'm just taking the Allen wrench, coming in here, and then just kind of prying a little bit around the edges. Not too aggressive, but dominant. Not being aggressive, being dominant. Okay. And there you go. So we're taking one of these guys here and the lock washer, and you're putting it through here. Now, you're gonna have this screw on top. You can see one side doesn't have it and one side does. You want that side on top. This side's gonna go on the other one. This one's gonna go here. Right now we're just doing this finger tight, so that way we can adjust this to where we like the peg once it's on the bike. And then once that's happened, this is gonna go in here, and you're also gonna have, they call it the D-washer, and we're gonna put this in here, and that's gonna create that tension for the peg. So it'll end up going something like, let's see, flat side this way towards that, not the round edge, the flat edge, like this piece on this side. It says to do this part while it's on the bike, but I think doing it this way might be easier. I've never liked doing these washer pieces, but I know it's necessary. Okay guys, we're gonna put this last floorboard on. We already got the other side on. We're gonna do this, and then we'll end up taking it for a ride. So you got these two spots here. Careful with these plastic spacers. I guess spacers are little like fitment pieces. We're gonna take this bolt. It's gonna go through, and then we'll probably actually end up going this way like this. That way we can run that right through there. Right now my GoPro is just kind of hitting this upper piece here. So we're gonna get these on, wrench it down, and then we'll end up torquing it down, just so that way this is nice and tight and not just lifting. Alright guys, just a quick glance here. I'm gonna get it out in the sun and ride it, and we're gonna make sure these are adjusted. But you have your Ciro pegs here. Bike's a little dirty right now, a little dark, but got those all on. So we're gonna check it out. Should be a nice little, be able to take your foot away from the brake, just kind of kick it over. There's some room to adjust here, and then you could also kick this way and then out. You know, we could flip this over, but just all really comes down to personal preference. Maybe you don't want your foot all the way up here. Maybe you have the lower fairings and you don't want to have to deal with that all the time. This is a really nice little sleek step, and I think it looks really good. So.
But we got some miles in on them. You can see they're folded in. We kick those out. They mount to the bottom of your floorboards there, like in the video, and you just get like an extra place to put your feet. And they're super adjustable. So it really depends on the person. Talking a little too much, and I need to be riding. We had a lot of rain lately, so some of the roads are like closed off up here. Let's get some, there we go. Get up to speed. All right. So, but if you're taking, like, I wish I had these going to Sturgis. I had the Lawless crossbars on my 22 Chief, so I kind of made do with those. And then my Challenger, I have like the foot pegs like mounted to my crash bars, and like that just gives you another spot. These ones, you don't even have to have crash bars, and it just gives you somewhere to put your feet. They're very comfortable, and like I like on long trips having somewhere else to be able to put my feet, and they're very, you know, like they're adjustable, comfortable, give you that extra little like kick out room right there, and it doesn't have to be up like super high, and then they easily like fold in, kind of easy. I think I have them a little tight right now, but as you see, I folded them out earlier. And you know, if you like lane split or anything like I do, you can just kick that in. If you're worried about it being a little long, I don't know, I like them a lot. Ciro 3D makes it very good. They're very quality product. Instructions are fairly easy. You know, you got to drill and stuff like that into your stock floorboards, but that's nothing bad. It doesn't really do anything to them. It's just on the bottom, get some screw spots, and you end up with some like really nice footwear, like somewhere to put your feet. There you go. Yeah, somewhere to put your feet. Make it a very comfy ride on long distance. If you guys haven't ridden long distance, being able to adjust your feet, one of the best things with floorboards in general, like, so I got my stance now, I can put my feet back, I can put my feet forward, you know, I can kick my feet out a little bit. If you have pegs, you're just stuck in one spot. So floorboards are a game changer all on their own. These just make that a little bit like, oh, that's another spot, boom, I can kick out, or I can kick all my feet all the way out. Now they're just on those. You know, and I'm not a super tall guy, so like this helps me, but it could help somebody else probably even a little bit more. I really recommend them. So definitely go over to Ciro 3D, check them out. I'm supposed to have like a link to send to you guys, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I don't know. Either way, go check them out. Like they make really good stuff, and I think you'll be happy if you're looking for something like this. Definitely a very good product to get. All right, you guys, stay safe, stay classy, and I'll catch you later.